Yoga Flow 4 to 5. This is a 4 to 5 minute practice today that gets us up and moving a little bit. We will be obviously moving through some traditional yoga poses in a flowing format. So a little bit more connected movement with your breath. If you have a yoga strap, that will be helpful today, or anything resembling that. So even a kitchen towel or a scarf, necktie even works. So once you have that, we'll back on our backs and we'll get going. So once you've made connection with the earth, you started a little bit of gentle breathing, maybe starting to even become a little bit more aware of the length of your inhale and the length of your exhale. You can start to invite in some simple movements in the body. So if your knees have been bent, you might extend your legs long down the mat. Maybe you point and flex your toes here a little bit, roll around your ankles, perhaps even lifting and picking one leg up at a time, rolling the ankle around clockwise, counterclockwise, and then doing the other. Maybe your hands extend up towards the ceiling or above your head and create that same simple opening movement, rolling the wrists, flexing the hands, opening and closing. Just taking whatever kind of opening movements, beginning movements feel good to you. And then we'll just start to invite in some bends in the knees. So when you're ready, go ahead and bend those knees. Walk the feet up the mat and start some simple side-to-side rocking to massage that low back. Letting those knees windshield wiper a little bit right and left. And we'll bring them back to center and invite both knees into the chest. Hug them in nice and close, rock around on your back. Right knee is going to stay hugged into the chest as you lift your left foot and kind of stamp it up on the ceiling, rolling around at the ankle. And then we'll switch sides. Opposite knee comes into chest, opposite foot stamps up onto the ceiling, same as before, pointing and flexing the toes, rolling around the ankle. See if you can stand both feet up this time, maybe even stretch the arms up over your head, creating an L shape. Pointing and flexing the toes again a little bit here, pulling those toes back towards your face. And then hug the knees back into the chest. Gentle rocking side to side here, again massaging all parts of the spine. And then when you feel ready, we'll start to rock and roll on the spine to get us up to a seat. When you find your seated position, go ahead and get comfortable. So maybe your knees fall out and open. You sit in kind of a crisscross shape with the legs. Reach the hands out to the side and invite in some simple breath work. Lifting up on the inhale. Exhaling back down to find your heart. So just take a couple of those, really opening up the shoulders. Making some simple connection with the breath. Last one. This time as the hands fall down into your heart, go ahead and lace them together. Push the palms straight forward and then just tip yourself a little bit right and left. Inhale, breath brings the hands high above your head. And then tip right and left. Perfect. Hands come back down to center, and then we're going to invite them around back. So this might be something as simple as just a heart opener here, placing the hands on either sides of the hips. You might either reach behind to lace the hands, or just place them comfortably on your low back. Maybe a slight tip of the chin up towards the ceiling. And then easy, head comes back over spine. Hands start to walk back around. We're going to move on to hands and knees. So start looking for a tabletop pose. Wrists go under shoulders. Knees go under your hips. Just a basic tabletop. Take a couple cat-cows just to make sure the body is feeling good and open through that spine. Belly dropping down on your inhale breath, rounding the spine on your exhale. Next time you get to that angry cat spine, sit the hips back towards your heels, walk your hands forward up the mat. Really release the hips down into the earth. Inhale, breath brings us back up to table. Step the right foot forward through the hands. Sink down into a little low lunge here. Inhale, breath, bring the hands up nice and strong. Exhale, breath, let the hands float down to the earth. Curl the toes under, lift the knee. Inhale, breath, drop the knee. Exhale here. Inhale, reach and lift. Exhale, back down to floor. Inhale, curl toes, lift knee. Exhale, release. One more time, drop the knee. Inhale it up. Exhale it down. Toes curl, knee lifts. Try adding a twist this time. So take this front hand, the one that's opposite of the knee in the front of the mat. So for me, it's my left hand. Put it up at the front, lift your right to the ceiling. Take this right hand, sweep it down and find the earth. Right foot steps back. First downward facing dog. So take your time in this down dog. Remember, it's supposed to look like an upside down V. So get those hips up a little higher. Push the knees back towards the wall. Really tailoring those hips back nice and long. And then when you feel ready, right knee drops to ground, left foot steps through. Inhale to lift it up. Exhale, take it down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, hold. Inhale, knee drops down. Exhale, lift. Hold. Take it down. Exhale, down. Inhale, lift the knee. Hold. Drop the knee. Use the inhale to lift you back up. Last one. Exhale, take it down. This time, when you lift the knee, start thinking about that twist. Right hand's going to come to the inside of this left foot. Left hand will lift towards the sky. Now watch the shoulder that's in the air. Obviously, we like our hands to be waving in the direction that we are twisting. Don't allow the shoulder to be all twisted. See if you can open that shoulder and point the hand off to the side. Perfect. Hand sweeps down, look for the mat. Step the front foot to the back of the mat. Downward facing dog. Walk this out. When you feel ready, small steps or a large leap, walk these feet up to find your hands. Hang in a forward fold. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach up, look up, hands go tall. Exhale, chair pose. Maybe reach the hands out. They can have some distance between them. They can be touching. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, fold. See if you can send your right foot backwards. Spin that right foot so right heel touches earth. Inhale, bring the chest up. Exhale, take your hands down, sweep them behind the hips. Inhale, bring them back up. Two more, just like that. So the chest reaches, long arms, long spine. And then when you come up, you step back in. Last one. Take the hands to prayer. Let them tuck themselves just behind the head. Hang here for a breath. As you inhale, spin up on these back toes. Let the hands come tall. And then exhale, take the hands just to the outside edge of that front knee. Test your balance. Inhale, bring it back up. Exhale, tuck it behind. Inhale, bring it up. Exhale, take it to the outside. We're going to do that one more time. Inhale, bring it up. Tuck it behind. Inhale, up. Exhale, outside. Hold here. Open the wingspan a little bit. See if you can make connection. Elbow on the outer edge of that knee. Beautiful. Hands come back together. Inhale, lift this up. And you're done. Cartwheel it all the way to earth. Front foot steps back. Maybe high plank feels nice to be good and strong through the upper body. Push through those heels. Make your spine long. Exhale, knees drop. One vinyasa with simple cobra this time. Hands always walking back from traditional cobra to push you back up to either knees or all the way into that down dog. Small steps or a large leap, take your time. Feet walk themselves to your hands. Find a half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift strong back to the chair. Next natural exhale, fold into the earth. Find a half lift. Back down, this time left foot steps back. Spin the left heel till it finds the earth. Bring yourself up, warrior one. Exhale, chest floats, hands shift back. Back up. Two more at your own pace. So this is your flowing movement. You're paying attention to your breath. You're watching your spine. You're keeping your chin away from your chest, elongating, looking for strength. When the hands come up this time, tuck them behind the head, let them settle. Inhale, breath, hands come up tall, spin up on these back toes. Now you're in crescent, so you notice my heel is up off the ground. Exhale, twist. Watch that balance. Inhale, up. Exhale, tuck it behind the head. Inhale, up. Exhale, twist. One more. This time, maybe you span, swing, open, whatever word makes sense here, to open the chest, encourage that twist. Remembering that this hand that's out to the side is waving in the same direction as my twist. Back together, up tall. Cartwheel, you're finished. Good work. Step that front foot back, take vinyasa of choice. Or you can just go to down dog or child's pose. Vinyasa might look like plank to knees to lower to one little cobra. And you can push the knees and then hips lift. So the key with that vinyasa, if you're going to choose cobra, is if you come up for your cobra, stay there and then transition to your knees. Otherwise, if you come back down to the cobra, you need to walk your hands back a little bit, probably even with the breastbone, in order to press yourself up to either half plank or full plank. All right, friends, when you're ready, small steps with your feet. Let's get back up here to your hands again. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach. Exhale, hands to heart. Step your right foot straight out in front. Let it take a little tap here. We're going to do just a little bit of kind of a marching movement. So you're going to do inhale, right knee. Exhale, down. Inhale, left knee. Exhale, down. So testing balance, getting the core involved, working the legs. You notice when I lift, I'm pointing. You might choose to lift and flex. I like to lift and point. I like the way that works my quads and my calves. And I feel a little bit more balanced, maybe. All right, do one more. Once you're even, take a big forward fold. Inhale, hands reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, fold. If you're not at the front of the mat, take a step there. Right foot's gonna step back. Right foot's gonna turn all the way so it's parallel with the back of your mat. Just a warrior two for a moment. Flip, reverse. Back to warrior two, side angle. Back to warrior two, triangle. Straighten front leg. Reaching a little bit forward, micro bending that knee if you need it. Chest is open. Inhale, breath back up, reverse triangle. Back through warrior two. Cartwheel, hands to the floor. Front foot steps back, full vinyasa, or just downward dog. Remember in vinyasas, those three connected puzzle pieces. Paying attention to alignment, paying attention to your back, paying attention to your shoulders if you choose to move through that vinyasa. When you feel ready, small steps with your feet, let them walk forward. Inhale, half lift when you're at the front of the mat. Hold. Lift and reach, hands come down and settle at the heart. One more march, hands to the hips. Right leg lifts, drop. Left leg lifts, drop. Inhale, both hands up. Exhale, fold. Halfway up, fold. Left foot this time back. Spin and bring yourself up for warrior two. Left leg is the one parallel with the back of your mat. Warrior dance, front hand flips. Lean away. Back through the side angle. Back up to warrior two. Knee straightens, look for triangle. Reaching forward first, then tipping into that triangle shape. Inhale, breath, back up, reverse triangle, lean away from that front knee. Back to settle into your warrior two. Cartwheel all of this forward, vinyasa or downward facing dog. Building a lot of heat here with simple transitions, movements that are familiar, but creating a pace of practice. Making us move a little bit this morning. When you feel ready, small steps or a large leap, feet move up towards your hands. Half lift from that forward fold, exhale down to the toes. Inhale, reach up, look up, hands look high. Exhale, bring it down to heart. Playing with a little bit more balance this morning. We're going to look for our strap or our scarf, towel, whatever you're going to use to assist with a little bit of balance now. So take your time to find that. That same marching motion we were taking is going to get aided this time with a strap. So if we put our right foot into the ground and we choose to strap up our left foot first, kind of going backwards of our march, you can face whatever direction works for you. And you're going to find that I'm holding my strap with a lot of length right now. If you're just using a kitchen towel, your hands are going to be way down here, which is okay because that's where we're going anyway. We're going to inhale to lift this foot up off the earth and use the assistance of your strap. So you can wrap it around your hands, you can hold it in closer with bent elbows. I like straight arms personally, so I tend to wrap my strap until my arms can be straighter. But this is all we're looking for right now. It's just building foundation in that standing leg. We're not trying to go anywhere crazy with it at this point. Let your chest be lifted, let your heart lift, top of the head, long and tall. Now, if you've had your strap wrapped around your hands, give yourself just a little bit of slack, and then see if you can extend this foot out. If you've got a big bent knee, that's okay too. Perfect. Let that leg come down. That's a big shape, so we're going to take our time to ease into that. Go ahead and switch sides. Put the strap underneath the arch of this foot. Shift the weight. Maybe you roll it a couple times. Bring it up when you're ready. So when you first get up, it's not uncommon to feel like a wobbly mess. So it's okay if you're kind of wonky. Get your gaze onto something that's not moving. So try not to look at the screen of your computer or your phone, your tablet. Go ahead and look at something out in your space that is not moving. Lift the heart, lift the crown of the head. Balance is all about patience. Stay where you are. Remain patient with that spine. Perhaps you unravel a little bit of this strap as you try to give this a little kick forward. Remembering it can always have a big bend in the knee. If your hamstring is not liking that today, give yourself another round of breath. Ease that up and send it down. We're going to take this strap, if you're using one at home, or a towel, go ahead and let it go really wide, and just put it underneath about the tips of your toes. I know you can't really see. If I move up here, you can see. It's just tucked just underneath about the top quarter of my foot. My feet are about hip distance apart, and I'm going to take a forward fold. So I'm going to keep this strap tight as much as I can as I start to hinge my chest forward, seeing how flat you can keep your back. Most of us will need to bend the knees at some point in order to protect the low back, and see if you can just continue to wrap this strap until your chest comes down a little closer to your thighs. Now, in my case, I can usually just reach for my toes. I don't really need a strap here, but I'm going to use the strap to just provide a little tension. So my elbows are going to bend, and I'm going to pull the strap as I lift through my tail up towards the side. This is all about my hamstrings. So as I lift my tail, I'm going to feel all of this start to open up the backside body. I'm going to feel some tension, obviously, in my legs, but hopefully nothing in my back because I have folded correctly. I went right over that hip crease. I don't have a big arch in my back. If you're feeling a lot of pain in your back, you need to soften your knees. You need to come up and reset. And then just see if you can lay your chest down a little closer to the tops of your thighs. Head is hanging. I promise you, the higher you try to lift your tail, the more you will feel this in the backs of your legs. So listen, don't go too far. Find that fine line between an active movement stretch and a little bit of ease. Beautiful. Start to soften that strap in your hands, maybe half lift. And then start to stand back up. Use the breath so we don't feel any kind of dizziness. All right, we're going to try one more time going back to that same strapped leg. We're going to strap the left, root the right. This time our goal is that we're going to put all of the strap in the same leg as that we are lifting. We're going to add a little bit of dimension to this now. So as you inhale to lift this knee, we've got the same movement we did before. Instead of being in two hands, I've got opposite hand on my hip. Maybe it works to open this leg slightly outward to the side. Maybe it works to push through the heel and extend this leg out to the side. Other option would be to offer the hand out and the other direction. Now your version can be all sorts of different things. It doesn't have to be quite this big. You can also be turned and be doing all of this with a wall, or a chair, or a couch, or whatever you have handy at home. Continue to breathe. Start to bring this back in. Soften that knee. Take it back to earth. Now make sense of where your body needs a little bit of attention here. Some of us are going to take big sways. Some of us are going to circle hips. Some of us are going to see that forward fold again. Others need to just kind of regroup and take a standing tadasana. Give yourself about 2 breaths, whatever feels good, just to kind of reset before you try the other side. So these standing poses, these balancing poses today require a lot of attention. Go ahead and get the strap ready on the opposite foot. Remembering that whatever foot you're attempting to lift, that's where we're going to put the strap this time. Balance leg shifts to the other side. And we bring this up. You can hold on the inside or the outside. I prefer the inside. Other hand might kind of rest at your hip. I like to place it here because it reminds me to keep this opposite hip still grounded down into the earth. It doesn't let me push it off to the side. I keep myself nice and lifted up through this hip flexor. If you choose to extend this leg, feel free. Noticing that one side might feel a little more comfortable than the other. But if you can't get quite to that big extension, know you can always have a bent knee, hand on hip, hand on chair, wall, whatever you may prefer. I like to use a strap because I feel like it makes this pose much more accessible to the majority of us who can't necessarily loop 2 fingers around that big toe. So if you're feeling okay and you're ready to come out of that shape, feel free. If you just got comfortable and you want to stay for an extra breath or 2, that's fine too. Just take your time to come out of there. And then what I think is going to make sense to us is to get us a couple more little things for the spine and some outer hips. So look for your mat, step wide on it, create kind of a big wide fold or big wide stance with the feet. Perhaps the toes turn, wait, but you can't see my feet all the way. Perhaps your feet turn slightly in, toes turn in, might feel better to push stabilization out through those heels. Watch your belly, because as we stand here, we have a natural tendency to kind of want to stick this out and stick the tail out behind us. So see if we can find some stabilization there. Inhale, reach your hands up. Exhale, reach way out into the middle of your space and fold down towards the earth. Knowing that you can bend your knees at any time if you need it. But if the legs are able to find a straight position, put the left hand underneath your face. Whether it's fingertips touching the ground or a flat palm or something in between, lift the right hand up towards the ceiling. Watching this wrist, making sure that we don't have a big funky shoulder. Open that shoulder. Wave your hand in the same direction as you were trying to look with your twist. Beautiful. Switch that out. Put that hand down on the ground. Let's go the other way. Again, watching this shoulder, lifting up out of the earth, not collapsing down into it. Hand returns back to earth. Half lift, long spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, breath brings you up as you turn the heels of your feet in and sink to a goddess shape. Inhale, straighten legs, reach back. Inhale, straighten legs, reach the other way, back. 2 more. Going back to that original side, this is your last round. And then settle in. Staying here, getting a little bit more in tune with those legs, watching the spine, crown lifts forward, maybe the hands. Gotta give the shoulders a little break. Still keeping those legs engaged. Sink down. Feel the heat in the inner thighs. Last one. Don't give up on me. Perfect. Stand up nice and tall. Good work. Take your left foot, let it turn to the edge of your mat. Give yourself just one little warrior dance this direction, and we're going to go the other way. So nothing too big here, just trying to make sure that side body gets a little more attention. Back through. Switch your toes. Go the other way. Look for warrior. Dance it on through. Perfect. Toes turn forward. Hands come down. And then just let yourself kind of heel toe the feet back underneath of you. Settle in for one more round of balance. Right foot in the earth. Left toes look for tree. Bring them up off the ground. Settle into that tree, maybe even palm to palm. You've got 2 breaths. It's a quick balance. Swing the hands down, extend the leg out, let it come to earth. Use the breath, settle into that opposite side. Immediately see if you can pick those toes up. Move right into tree on this side, watching that outer hip. Keep it in. 2 more breaths here. Spine is long, pulling through the crown of your head. Let that leg extend long. Bring it down. If you're not at the front of the mat, go ahead and find it. Last final sun salutation. Reach up, look up. Exhale, hinge and fold. Long spine. Back down. Both feet step to the back of the mat, either one at a time or hopping themselves back there. Lower through plank. Look for either up dog with the hands back near the breastbone, wrists under shoulders, or just a gentle cobra. Transition yourself to child's pose or maybe downward dog. And then just find some breath. If you've chosen down dog, fantastic. Let your body release the backside body in that pose. We did a lot of work with your hamstrings standing today, so you might need a little extra release. If you've chosen child's pose, maybe soften the arms. Let the head dangle down between those shoulders. One more nice round of breath here. Beautiful. If you're in downward dog, start to drop the knees. If you're in child's pose, just gently start to crawl your way up towards your hands. Transition yourself so that you're able to look for your back and locate your strap, towel, or scarf one more time. As you start to settle down into your back, if you have in your yoga space a block, that might be nice, but if you don't have one, it's not going to be a big deal. A blanket will work, a pillow will work, or nothing. So once you start to transition to your back, go ahead and put that strap around both feet, right across where your arch is. Now I'm modeling it right now with nothing underneath my back. If you'd like to, you can take the strap down just for a moment, reach for that block, blanket, pillow, slide it right underneath the sacrum, so not the cushy part of your bum, but the bone mat. And then go strap your feet up, just getting a little bit more lift underneath your tail. Now my feet, I don't know if you can see on screen, but my feet are about shoulder distance apart. They're not completely connected. One reason is because the bones on the insides of my ankles clank together and I don't like that feeling. So I keep a little bit of space between my feet. But I get the strap in a place where I can add just a little bit more tension down the back sides of my legs without adding tension in my shoulders. So that's the goal. You want to feel open through your backside body without adding anything extra into your shoulders. So just let your breath find its way into the practice here. We're definitely in the mode of our practice time together where things should slow down a little bit. We're getting closer to the end of the practice. So a little less work, a little more release. So if it feels good to separate the feet even wider, maybe bend the knees. I have a block underneath me, so that doesn't really feel real great, so I'm going to lift just enough to get that block out. If you had a blanket or a pillow, this might feel really nice with that underneath your back. But if you widen your feet and bend your knees, you almost start to look like you're doing happy baby, just in a little bit more modified way. Sometimes that can feel really nice for the hips. Others may choose to lose the strap and take the full version of happy baby with hands on outer edges of the feet. Or maybe you decide to just kind of rock around however feels best with you without the strap. I've only got about 1 or 2 more poses I'm going to suggest, and then the remainder of the practice will be yours. So just to finish off, fully stretching the remaining sections of our hips, we're going to take the right foot, extend it to the sky, bring it over here and connect it on top of the left knee. My left foot's already up off the ground, but yours can certainly be on the earth. You can push that right knee slightly away and just kind of rock and roll a little bit here side to side. You can bring the left foot up off the earth. Start to connect hands. Maybe one goes around the outer edge of that hip or that thigh. The other one kind of comes out from in between your figure 4 and connects around that. Some that's too big, so they just kind of take hands to both thighs. That's fine too. But soften your eyes, soften the muscles of your face, point and flex your toes, let everything have a moment. Now, of course, if this is not a big enough hip stretch for you, you can always scoop up this top leg, let the opposite leg go long down the mat, and just hold your right leg, and then baby doll manner. Now let's switch legs. So take your time. Start to bring all of that back to earth. You might need a little reset in between, rocking and rolling, windshield wipering, before lifting left foot over and placing it on your right. You can stay there, remember, it does not have to leave the earth. Your shape can look like this, just a little figure 4. If even that's too big, you can always crisscross at your ankles. And just kind of let your legs tip top from side to side. None of this is ever one size fits all. You can always adjust, modify, listen to your own body. I'm essentially just your guide through this practice time, and you have to decide what's right for you. So just because I describe a certain pose looking in a certain way, doesn't mean it's going to look like that for all of us. And it's okay if it doesn't. Our time on the mat is called a practice for that particular reason. It is always a practice. It's always time to improve, see where we are, to evaluate, and develop, if nothing else, just a better self-awareness. Checking in not only physically each day with our body, but emotionally, spiritually. Making sure that this yoga practice does more than just provide us with physical strength and balance, but also gives us a necessary time to let everything sit and settle. Check in. So if as you start to finish this slide, you feel that Savasana makes the most sense for you to visit next, go ahead and move yourself into whatever final shape you're going to have for the remainder of this practice time. Traditional Savasana looks like legs long down the mat, heels planted but toes rolled towards outer edges, palms flipped up towards the ceiling. But since you have other props at home, you're always welcome to place maybe a block between your knees, a blanket, or a pillow underneath your head. You could always take a sideline Savasana, maybe hugging those knees in close. You might choose to put your legs up onto the wall and have legs up to the wall. Or prop yourself in any way that feels best to your own body. But let things start to settle. Let the back become soft into the earth. Let the muscles of your face begin to relax and find ease. The eyes close and know that my voice will bring you back when it's time to conclude our practice time together. To take full advantage of this time. Slowly starting to become aware of your breath. Allowing gentle movements to come back into the fingers, into the toes. Easing your way back to your seat as we close out this practice time together. Today's final reading will finish our time. Is entitled, The Simplest Vacation is a Walk with a Friend. This comes from Judith Lassiter's A Year of Living Your Yoga. Plan a walk today with a friend. Enjoy the conversation, rhythmic movement of your steps, and the fresh air. Note how your mood has lifted when you return. Obviously, today's weather might make that a little bit tricky, but I encourage you to make that a goal for this week. Whether you walk in person with a friend or maybe just encourage each other to go for a walk while you have a phone conversation. Enjoy the rhythmic step of your feet and the fresh air. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you again for joining me. It was lovely. Namaste.